the record.
Got it.
Perfect. I love that Zoom has now added that we all have to give permission to be recorded. I really do genuinely appreciate that because sometimes you don't hear it. So, yes, Allie, we have asked you to come by today because I would love for you to share your experience. I know that we are still coaching, but we're on more of like a maintenance plan, and the bulk of what we agreed to do is completed. So I just want to hear your experience, what you loved about coaching, what surprised you, and anything else you feel like sharing. So maybe start with just telling people a bit about you, where you were when we started coaching and where you are now.
Yeah, so hi guys, I am Allie. I started my career as an audio engineer, then I turned into a startup founder. I've done a lot of UX design work, and I'm a product consultant. So I help other startup founders really, understand how to be simple enough so they can actually make an impact faster. And so when I met Courtney, I was kind of at the final stages of my startup. We had a lot of kind of issues during COVID just because we were an events-based company. And so I was kind of in this place where I was deciding whether or not to be done. And that was a very emotional experience for me, just because I had been doing it for 4 years and it was my baby. But at the same time, I had not even paid myself in months and months, unless we had, funding from random things. But I never really knew whether I was going to be able to pay my rent or buy groceries for like 4 years, which was really stressful. And so I was kind of at the point where I was saying, actually, I'm important and I need to make sure that I'm taken care of first. And Courtney really helped me a lot with that, and with not feeling bad for doing that. And so basically, from the time that I met Courtney and started coaching to now, I went from not being able to pay my rent to now, currently, I just had a meeting with a job offer for 6 figures. So I'm like super happy in my new role. It's exactly what I want to be doing. And I feel like I'm on track towards where I want to go with my career overall. So Courtney has been super helpful in, just thinking about just understanding myself and what I'm good at, and how I can use my strengths. And it's really worked great.
Allie is absolutely crushing it. No, when we started working together, I could tell that she had this really beautiful like spark inside her where she was like, I mean to do something so much bigger. And I feel like a lot of what we did was just adjusting different things around you that were holding you back. And they were things that you might have even put in place early on to keep yourself safe or on track, but then being able to recognize and realize what wasn't serving you anymore. What would you say would one of the biggest things that we moved out of the way, whether that was a mindset piece or an actual physical piece? What would you say that was?
Yeah, I think I've had a deep rooted, well, I'm a very spiritual person. I'm a yoga teacher, and I have always kind of, seen the world as the game. It's kind of like, it's not really real. Like, is this wall real? Like, because I had kind of gone really far down this road of spirituality. And so one of the big like aha moments was when, I was like, I forgot what I was saying, but I've always thought like it would, it'll be so cool to die, like to find out what's next. And like Courtney's like, what's so bad about being here? Like, let's focus on just enjoying our time on Earth. And like, because I had always been either in, I was always kind of in future mode, of like, oh, it'll work out great, oh, blah, blah, blah. It's not really real, so we'll just keep dreaming. And, and it was kind of like the combination of Courtney saying that and just having a serious relationship with someone who is happy just being and has a job. I was like, I'm too cool for that. I'm too cool to actually like make money. Like, so so Courtney really helped me see, like, actually you can make a ton of money doing something that you really love, and that's making an impact that you want to make.
Yeah. Well, thanks for sharing. No, it's been really neat to see you along with other clients get excited about living again. I think that especially, I know you've done a lot of work in the sustainability world, and there are a lot of people there that think if I'm going to be sustainable, I need to like do the minimum and make the minimum and exist on the minimum. And there's a balance. You don't need 500 Lamborghinis in your garage, but if you want to drive one for fun and that fuels your livingness will then minister to others and will definitely make an impact, and it will be a sustainable one. So I think it's beautiful to see that coming about in your life. Another question that I get a lot from people is Courtney a life or a business coach? So I would love it if you could speak to that based on your experience. Am I a life or a business coach?
I think it's just depends on what you want out of the coaching relationship. We've had some meetings that were very business heavy, but mostly it's been life as it applies to business. Like, business ended up being kind of a side effect of the life stuff that we were working on, or like a chain reaction that it caused. But personally, I think business and life are interconnected, even if we don't want them to be. And so I think addressing the life stuff affects the business side. So, and that's kind of how our relationship has been.
Sure, just bebopping back and forth, figuring out whatever needs to happen that day.
Mm-hmm.
So as far as investments go, when would you suggest someone make the investment in a coach?
I think that the universe is awesome, and it usually brings you a coach when you need it. I don't know how you would say, well, now it's time to get a coach, other than just being in a place where there's a lot of room for improvement. And if you sit and look around and you're not happy with what's going on, it might be time to start, sending the intention of, maybe there could be someone unbiased that I could talk to about what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So I know you do a lot in the spiritual work and in the energy work as well. And so it'd be really valuable, just feedback for me, anything that you'd like to share about my vibe or how you believe that I exist in the world and who I might match well with. Go ahead, be as honest as you can be here. What's Courtney's vibe?
Courtney doesn't sugarcoat things, which is why I love her. I'm a person who just loves to get to the point and not do the small talk and the let's talk about shit that matters. And that's how Courtney is. And I love that we don't have to like do a lot of formalities or anything. We get to the point, and the vibe is cool because it's like a good balance of, like, I feel that support. I feel that kind of softer, like, I know that if I were like to cry or something, you would be very understanding and be there, but at the same time you're going to tell me what I need to know, which is why you're my coach, because I don't want to just hear what I want to hear. And what I really like is that, like, I'm generally a go-getter when it comes to self-development, and I read a lot of books, and every book I read I become obsessed with. And so I always like, one of the cool things that I thought was the way that you're open to actually saying, yeah, actually I read that, which I'm like, oh, phew, thank God she knows what I'm talking about. She's gone through all the courses, she's read all the things, and she knows all the concepts, which is very helpful because then you don't have to catch her up on it, which is great. And and then also being open, like, to being like I'm sure, like, you have your own way you would go about it as a coach, but you were open to going along with me on the ride of who the author of the books, take on things. And one thing that we did that really stood out was I had gone through this book called The Big Leap, and I had a ton of journal, I like so much to work through, and I was confused, and Courtney helped me sort out what I had learned from the book, which was really cool too. So it's like, just, there's no like set methodology that Courtney uses. It's just whatever is needed at the moment, which I think is really cool.
That's awesome. Thanks for sharing that. I know that is not like everyone else does it. It's definitely a little bit more unique. A lot of people think they need a methodology, and I would say if you want someone with a methodology and like a this in order, probably not a good fit. We will cover all the bases, but in whatever order your life delivers it, and in whatever order we feel like you need it most. Mm-hmm. Is there anything else? Sometimes people come to me and say, I already have a coach, or I already have a therapist, and you seem kind of like a therapist. Would you say that I need to be your only support? Or do I work well with others, or anything like that?
Yeah, I'm just in my career and in my journey, I'm a big fan of surrounding myself with people who I can go to when needed. So I have a big network of mentors that I can go and talk to at any time. And they all fill different, spaces in what I need. And so I definitely don't think you can't, it's like in a relationship, right? You can't get everything from one person. And if you are expecting that person to fill your whole self, then that's probably not a good sign. And it sucks for that person. So yeah, in Courtney's best interest, have some other
we want all the people, all the specialists. I can help you be like a general contractor, but I'm not plumbing. Oh, froze there. Decided to kick me out for some random reason. It's all right. I love technology, especially when it works.
Yes.
Cool. So we'll do one final fun question. In the future, when we line up and we have all the people that I have coached or mentored or helped in one room, what do you think will be a common thread through all of them?
Ooh. Well, I think that it's very clear that, you know, Courtney doesn't work with people who are not willing to do the work. And so I think that all of those people would be probably very successful if we're thinking this is a future situation. um, and by successful, I mean their own definition of success. Because one really cool like thread from our conversations is like it's all relative and it's whatever you define it as. You don't, like you're saying, you don't have to have 5 Lamborghinis to be successful. But so maybe instead of successful, I would use the word content or happy.
That'd be beautiful. I can't wait to see it. All right. Well, if there is there anything else you feel like people should know? Any deep dark secrets you found out about me?
No deep dark secrets.
Oh, that's nice. I would love to know about them if there are.
If there are, you should know that Courtney's always right, and she is aware of that. So she will not sugarcoat that either. So that's good to know going in.
I'm afraid my wife would definitely disagree with you on that last one, but I believe that that's your perspective and it's totally valid. Some things are just easier to read than others. No worries. Okay, well, thank you so much, Allie. Can't wait to keep up with you on your journey and how you continue to just blossom in this new role and in this new level of life. I really am so proud of you and the work that you've accomplished so far. Can't wait to keep sharing being a part of it.
Yay, thank you.
Welcome.